presently in my collection I have about 71,000 books. I have to tell you, I started collecting when I was 12, and it's not that I saved those books, because when I turned 17 I foolishly gave them all in to get a car. And looking back now, I would beat my younger self to death for doing it, because I had the whole run of the X-Men, the whole run of Daredevil. Anyway, I got it all back as I got older. But I never forgot those stories. I mean, my dad moved us to Jersey City when I was 10, and it was pretty much hell on earth. And comics were the only escape for me, to read them at night. They kept looking in my room and just saw me reading comics day and night. I didn't go out. You couldn't go out. It was get roughed up if you went out. So I would go with my uncle every Thursday to Garden State News and pick up new books. That's when our day was. But I wanted to give you a little background, tell you where it all came from. A lot of it is me and my wife picked up the past 20 years too. So moving everything is pretty messy. Let's see what we got in the box. I'm going to try to do my best to let you see the comic without glare and without Hazel barking. Right, Haze? Alright, I'm standing here in my so-called man cave of comic collectibles and such, and we moved, so I got all this room, but everything got jumbled, and I'm finding things long forgotten. We lived in that house 25, 30 years, so this is the bulk of my collection behind me. It's all long and short boxes. So I'm going to pick something out and go through it, see what we got. I kind of got lost in work and haven't really been able to tend to my herd, so to speak, but I think it's time. So we'll do it together. Let's unbox the comics. Here's Hazel, and she'll probably be barking throughout this video. She does like to play with that green ball a whole hell of a lot. Hey, Haze. Hi. So I picked a random box here. It's a short box. Take the lid off. And I think they're pretty much all in Mylar, this box. Alright, let's start. I took some out. Here we go. Here we have X-Men 70, which was the reprint phase of the X-Men. They weren't selling well, the books, and they decided to go into reprints because it was cheaper to put them out, making these big quarter issues. They were nice. Kirby covers, Kirby art, can't beat it for a quarter, especially with the price of books these days. Again, we have another reprint, Origin of the Beast. Must have been tough getting him shoes at Tom McCann, I'll tell you that. And here's a reprint of Juggernaut. I do not remember the Human Torch being in this story, and why the Juggernaut had let his legs show like that, but you know, artists do take liberties. And then this was, if 67 began the reprint, 66, this was the last original story. They fight the Hulk in Las Vegas. They're saying this book is worth $250 in mint condition. Mine isn't mint. It has some soiling here and some small creases and all. Might be fine. But okay. Now this is a classic. Silver Surfer versus Thor. I'm sure you're all aware. This is the big low distribution book that I think the Silver Surfer #1 in mint condition is $17.50, and this is like $1,200. So it's the second highest book in the Silver Surfer Panthos here, and it's pretty good. It's got some faded color down here, but as far as the spine goes, the hardest thing with these square bound books is the spine, because either they rip or they start getting these folds in them like waves. Just the way they were bound couldn't be helped. But this one doesn't have it. This one's good. And oh, alright, Girls Love. Let's see. Joanne, you've got to forget him. He'd only break your heart. Dude, go to the bar, have a beer. Forget about it. 10-cent comic. These are very collectible, these romance comics now. And here's Patsy and Heidi. Kind of Marvel's answer to Veronica and Betty, I guess. And they had a big run. They ran over 100 issues, I believe. They're career girls, treasure hunting. Maybe what's his name? Sea Hunt. Lloyd Bridges will run into them. Alright, Challenges of the Unknown, number 21. Challenger's Space Pet Ally. DC had this thing where they wanted everybody to have this little pet with them at times. And Hanna-Barbera, of course, you know, from the cartoons, always had that. But, yeah, I always liked the Challengers, but I think Kirby stepped it up when he created the Fantastic Four. Moving on. Dollar Swamp Thing. 1980. All right. I think it's an original book. I do not think. Let's see. The award-winning When and Writes in Wonderman at best. Nope. I guess they're reprints. There it is. So that's a reprint for $1. Here's DC Special War Against the Giants. These were definitely reprints. You got a lot for 50 cents. A bang for your buck back then. What's this? Here's another Swamp Thing. I think these were reprints too. It is definitely reprints. The old Kirby and Simon Black Magic books. I just loved them. His art was different from where he wound up when he finally got there to Marvel from the 50s. Clever, very clever. We got, okay, here's the DC 100-page spectacular Superboy. Let's check this binding. Not bad at all. Another Superboy. I was a big Superboy fan. I rather read Superboy than Superman at times. Alright, let's go slumming with the old Charlton Comics. Cheyenne Kid. You know, it's hilarious. You read, not so much the Westerns, but you read the other Charlton books and the stories just went nowhere, did nothing. There's a big story behind it of just keeping the presses running, because they printed music sheets and magazines, and it was cheaper to keep the presses running, so they just ran off comics and didn't care much about the content of it. Alright, Tarzan. And Gold Key. Gold Key was alright. Gold Key had decent stories, decent art. It's a nice green, right? What number is this? It's number 8. Interesting. Don't know where I got that one. Here's where Joe Kubert had a chance, and he created Rima the Jungle Girl, Ragman. He brought back Tor back then. It's some nice art from Joe. I always liked Joe Kubert. Alright, here's Marvel's Spotlight on the Ghost Rider. One of his early outings into the jaws of death. Of course, you're all familiar with the famous Conan #1, Barry Smith. Barry Smith or John Buscema? Who's the better artist? Hard to pick. Magnus Robot Fighter. follow the adventures of him beating up robots. So, let's go see what else we got here. Got 2 copies of this. It's the Whirlwind. I remember buying these off the racks back then for $0.25. Oh yeah. It's when Gwen Stacy came back. The first time. The giant-sized Spider-Man. I remember. There they go. Hey, Hazel, please. It's amazing, but they don't really command the price of other bronze books at the time. Like, you could buy this at a reasonable price, $25, $35. Really don't command that much price. I don't know if the other ones in here, the superheroes, were Mobius and Morbius. Yeah, here's giant size number 2 with Master of Kung Fu. There's number 4 with the Punisher. And then, alright, now we're going back to the annuals. This is when the parents of Peter Parker came back. And then, I believe, I haven't read this story in a long time. It wasn't really his parents, it was a setup. But then later on, in the 90s, his parents did come back. They were spies. Egads. Here's a reprint of the first annual with the Sinister Six. It's another reprint of the Shocker. What else? Spawn of this one. Valley of the Dinosaurs. Here's some Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Charlton had the rights to, and they weren't bad stories if you read them. They really weren't too bad if you at that age. Just first romance. I'm not sure who the artist was on them. A lot of Marvel artists got their starts on things like this, like Buscema and Colan. Their attempt at humor, Marvel spoof. Superior Comics battle stories. 12th Center. Alright, Heroes of the West. How cool is that? Strange Planets. Saturn Struck. What's this guy say? Join us in the strange happenings of outer space. Not only in the vast space in the skies, but also of the world beneath the sea. This is the most suspenseful issue yet. Try not to cream on it. Strange mysteries. What is it? What can you see that I can't see? It's just some demon humping a blob form. Strange mysteries. The cigar store Indian is stalking these guys. Guys, it's cool to go surfing on dice. Alright, Charlton. The Adventures of Hercules. Oh, here we go. Submariner number 1. And, Rip Hunter Time Master number 1. There you go. 1,000-Year-Old Curse. I should check this book after the TV show. Might have went up some. Alright, what do we got? 3D House of Terror from the 50s with the glasses. Iron Man. Oh yeah, I paid $15 for this book. It's in really good shape too. Little Iodine. By the way, Little Iodine is what they used to call girls who were kind of sassy in their day. Oh yeah, Iron Man, Submariner, and some Gene Colan, beautiful art for you there. Number 1. That was their knockoff one issue. Okay, what else we got here? Silver Surfer. I think we got a run of a Surfer here. Yes, Hazel. I'll be with you in a second. Roy Rogers. Putting up a wanted poster with the back of his gun. That ain't too smart, Roy. Shalaba. Bit of Victory. Doomsday Man. Yep. That's when he met Spider-Man. That's when he met the Human Torch. So first he meets Spider-Man, then he meets the Human Torch. I think that's when his sales were lagging and they were looking for anybody to help out. Here's a nice Green Lantern, number 30. Tarzan. Back to the X-Men here. This one, an original story. I can't understand why they didn't sell. You can't say they didn't have good art. They had Neil Adams back then. They had Steranko. I don't know what happened here. Look at Neil Adams, beautiful. I don't know what happened to why they couldn't push it. Now they're all classics. They're all worth some big money. That's it for this box. Box is empty. Right, Hayes? Yes, alright. I'm going to pay attention to. Before we wrap it up, I got to show you this. This is just your Chinese toy back when the first Spider-Man movie came out. Spider-Man Classics Adventure Hero, right? Made in China. Okay, not bad, but got to read the back. Spider-Man Classics Adventure Hero. Attack Spider-Man. The new century Spider-Man crime fighter has never BRRN, I think it was supposed to be been haunted, fist by the Green Goblin, and now by his sinister successor, the Hobgoblin, the new leader of the crime in New York, Y-O-U-K, City. Spider-Man leaned to enhance his neural suit technology. Check out for your figures. Collect the adventure of Hero Spider-Man All. Adventure Hero Vampire Wars. Vampire Wars. Yeah, that's a classic. Alright, folks, that wraps it up. I'll see you next time, and we'll see what we'll pull out from back there. Take care. Bye.